They called him the Chosen One. A rocket arm, the size of a linebacker, and a swagger that screamed future NFL legend. DJ Uiagalelei wasn't just a quarterback. He was a phenomenon, a 5-star recruit, a high school prodigy destined to rewrite football history. Some dared to whisper his name in the same breath as Tom Brady, believing he'd one day rival the greatest quarterback of all time. But what really happened to DJ Uiagalelei? How did a young man destined to become the next Tom Brady fall so far from the spotlight? And is there still hope for redemption? Join us as we unravel the rise, fall, and mystery behind a quarterback who was supposed to change the game forever. It all started in Bellflower, California, at St. John Bosco High School, a powerhouse when it comes to football. We're talking about a program that churns out elite players year after year. And then came DJ Uiagalelei. He wasn't just a quarterback, he was a force of nature. Imagine this, a 6'4", 250-pound teenager with the strength of a linebacker, the agility of a running back, and an arm that could launch a football like a rocket. Seriously, scouts said his throws could knock the wind out of you if you weren't paying attention. Coaches and analysts were stunned. DJ wasn't just good, he was special. They called him a once-in-a-generation talent, the kind of player you only see every 20 years, if that. By the time he reached his senior year, DJ had earned the title of #1 pro-style quarterback in the entire country. Think about that. Out of thousands of high school quarterbacks, he was the guy. Naturally, the biggest college programs came knocking. Alabama, Oregon, USC, you name it, they wanted him. But DJ had his sights set on Clemson. Why? Because Clemson had just produced Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy who went on to become the first overall pick in the NFL draft. DJ wanted to walk that same path, dominate college football, win championships, and hear his name called early on draft night. And if his high school stats are anything to go by, that dream didn't seem far-fetched. DJ racked up over 10,000 passing yards and a jaw-dropping 127 touchdowns during his time at St. John Bosco. He wasn't just winning games, he was putting on a show every single Friday night. And it wasn't just the numbers. DJ had swagger. He led his team to a state championship, cementing his status as one of the greatest high school quarterbacks the state of California had ever seen. The fans loved him so much they gave him a nickname, Big Cinco. It wasn't just about his jersey number though. It was about his presence, larger than life, impossible to ignore, and destined for greatness. DJ's arm strength wasn't just good, it was jaw-dropping. He could launch a football 80 yards downfield without even planting his feet. Scouts said his arm was like a rocket, one of the strongest they'd ever seen. And it wasn't just power. He had finesse too. His throws were precise, like darts landing right on target. It's no wonder analysts started comparing him to Tom Brady. They said he had the same calm, collected presence under pressure, the same ability to read defenses and make plays. Some even dared to say he might be better. Sounds crazy now, right? But back then, it wasn't a stretch. When Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy of college football, was sidelined with COVID-19, DJ was thrown into the spotlight. And boy did he step up. In a high-stakes game against Notre Dame, under the bright lights and massive pressure, DJ threw for an eye-popping 439 yards. That wasn't just impressive, it was historic. No Clemson quarterback had ever put up those kinds of numbers against Notre Dame. Fans and analysts alike were in awe. They weren't just saying he's good. They were saying, this kid is special. He's the future of football. For a moment, it felt like the torch had been passed. Clemson had found their next superstar, and the NFL was already on notice. DJ Uiagalelei wasn't just a rising star. He was a comet blazing across the football world. October 31st, 2020 was Halloween night, but for DJ Uiagalelei, it wasn't about costumes or candy. It was about stepping into the fire. The moment every young quarterback dreams of. DJ didn't just play, he dominated. He completed 31 out of 40 passes for 342 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the Tigers to a stunning comeback after being down by 18 points in the first half. He proved he wasn't just some backup. He was the real deal. The whole college football world was watching, and DJ had officially arrived. But that was just the beginning. The following week, DJ's next test came against undefeated Notre Dame. Trevor Lawrence was still out, and DJ was called to fill some seriously big shoes. This time, it was no easy task. Despite a stellar performance, 439 yards, 29 completed passes out of 44 attempts, and 2 touchdowns, Clemson lost in a heart-pounding overtime battle 47-40. But DJ? He looked like a seasoned pro. His poise under pressure had everyone talking. Some even started comparing him to Clemson's legend, Deshaun Watson. Fast forward to 2021, after Trevor Lawrence headed to the NFL, DJ became the guy at Clemson. All eyes were on him. The Tigers were ranked number 3 in the nation before the season even started, and DJ's hype was off the charts. He had brand deals with Dr. Pepper and Bojangles. Talk about living the dream, right? He was the face of Clemson football, and expectations were sky high. Then came the first big test, Clemson versus Georgia. It was supposed to be DJ's moment, but when the game started, reality hit hard. DJ struggled. He completed only 19 of 37 pass attempts for just 178 yards, no touchdowns, and worst of all, a pick six that gave Georgia the game's only touchdown. The Tigers lost 10-3, and suddenly the questions started piling up. Was DJ really the next big thing, or was the pressure getting to him? The next few months were a roller coaster. With expectations soaring, DJ's performance was inconsistent. He had the talent, no doubt, but the pieces around him, Clemson's offensive line and receiving corps, weren't always on the same page. And as the season wore on, the cracks started showing. Fans were disappointed and whispers of doubt grew louder. In 2022, things took another unexpected turn. In the ACC championship game, DJ was benched in favor of 5-star freshman Cade Klubnik. That moment spoke volumes. DJ, once hailed as the future of Clemson, was now a backup. And on December 4th, 2022, DJ made a life-changing decision. He entered the transfer portal. At just 21 years old, DJ's career at Clemson had taken a sharp turn, from the golden child of college football to a player searching for a new chapter. But what went wrong? Was it the pressure of following in the footsteps of legends, the spotlight that burned too bright? Or was it simply that DJ, as talented as he was, needed the right environment to thrive? On Christmas Eve 2022, DJ Uiagalelei made a bold move, announcing he was transferring to Oregon State University to join the Pac-12 Conference. For DJ, this was more than just a fresh start. It was a chance to rewrite his story. But his talents weren't just limited to football. Fast forward to July 11th, 2023, and DJ was drafted by none other than the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 20th round of the MLB draft as the 610th overall pick. A surprise, right? While he ultimately chose not to pursue baseball, this showed just how versatile and gifted he truly is. By August 22nd, 2023, DJ was officially named Oregon State's starting quarterback, beating out Ben Goldbrinson and Aiden Childs. It was a proud moment, signaling that DJ still had the talent and determination to lead, and he didn't disappoint during the season, proving he still had plenty to offer on the field. But just when things seemed to settle, another twist came. On November 30th, 2023, after the regular season ended, DJ entered the transfer portal once again. The reason? Oregon State's head coach, Jonathan Smith, had decided to leave for Michigan State. With his coach gone, DJ was left searching for a new opportunity, yet again. Fast forward to January 1st, 2024, and DJ Uiagalelei was ready for one more shot to prove himself. He made a bold move, transferring to Florida State University for his final year of college football. It was his chance to rewrite the narrative, to remind everyone why he was once considered the next big thing. But football is unpredictable, and life on the gridiron didn't get any easier for DJ. In a game against SMU, he suffered a hand injury, a brutal setback that kept him sidelined for weeks. It was another tough blow in a career already full of challenges. Before the injury, DJ had started 5 games for Florida State. His numbers? A mixed bag. He threw for 1,065 yards, 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. His completion rate was 84 passes on 156 attempts. Not exactly the stats of a future NFL star, but enough to show flashes of potential. Then came December 16th, 2024. A moment that surprised some and inspired others. DJ Uiagalelei announced he was declaring for the 2025 NFL Draft. But then, things started to fall apart. And not just a little. It was a full-on unraveling. In 2021, Clemson's offense seemed stuck in quicksand. The team that had dominated for years couldn't even find its rhythm. DJ managed just 9 touchdown passes the entire season. 9. For a guy who was supposed to be the next big thing, that was like a guitarist hitting all the wrong notes at a sold-out concert. Fans were shocked, confused, and yes, angry. They pointed fingers straight at DJ, saying he was the problem. But was it really his fault? Not entirely. Clemson's offensive line, which is supposed to protect the quarterback, was practically folding like a deck of cards. DJ barely had time to blink before defenders were on him. And his receivers? Dropped balls, missed routes. It was like they were playing a different game. To top it off, the play calling was, well, let's just say it left a lot to be desired. It was like handing someone a dull knife and expecting them to carve a masterpiece. Still, guess who got the blame? DJ. Fans and analysts started calling him a bust, saying he couldn't handle the pressure. And once the narrative started, it was like wildfire, spreading fast and burning everything in its path. And off the field, things weren't much better. DJ's father, who had always been a larger-than-life figure in his life, was dealing with some serious legal and financial problems. It made headlines, and it wasn't the kind of attention anyone wants. Imagine being 20 years old, trying to figure out your career, while also dealing with family struggles plastered all over the news. But DJ didn't give up. He turned to his faith and kept posting messages about staying positive and working hard. On the surface, he seemed calm and focused, but underneath, the pressure must have been crushing. Picture this. You're a young man, barely out of your teens, and millions of fans are screaming at you, expecting miracles. Every throw, every step, every decision is dissected and criticized. DJ wasn't just battling defenses on the field, he was fighting battles no one could see. And honestly, who wouldn't struggle under that kind of weight? So what really caused DJ's decline? Well, there's a lot of talk about it. Some people blame Clemson's system for holding him back. It wasn't like the old days when the Tigers were crushing it with Trevor Lawrence at the helm. The offensive line was shaky, and the play calling wasn't always in DJ's favor. It's easy to see why that would mess with a quarterback's confidence. Then there's the pressure. DJ was the guy in high school. He was supposed to be the next Tom Brady, right? That's a lot for anyone to carry, especially a teenager. Imagine being just 18 and being compared to one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. The expectations were massive, and let's be real, they can mess with your head. But here's the most important thing to remember. Football is a team sport. A quarterback might get all the glory, but he's only as good as the guys around him. DJ didn't always have the best protection, and his receivers weren't always making those crucial catches. When you're facing pressure from the defense and your teammates aren't stepping up, it's tough to succeed. But DJ doesn't look finished yet, not by a long shot. Yeah, the spotlight's dimmed a bit, but he's still young, still got that cannon of an arm, and he's got a whole lot of football left in him. The NFL might not be calling yet, but who knows? Look at guys like Drew Brees or even Tom Brady. They weren't always the top picks, and they had their struggles too. DJ's just getting started. He's got time to turn it around, and with the right situation, he could still make a big impact. Now, the big question is, can DJ Uiagalelei make it in the NFL? He's got the size, he's got the arm, and most importantly, he's got the heart. Sure, the stats may not scream first-round pick, but as we've seen before, the NFL loves an underdog story. Maybe, just maybe, DJ's story is far from over.